Hi, my name is Lakeisha Moye, and I will be presenting a presentation on Susan M. Schneider. One of her beliefs is consequences are everywhere. Her introduction. Susan M. Schneider is known as an author, a researcher, a professor, a pioneer, a scientist who focused on behaviors, and a biopsychologist. She applied 25 years of research and scholarship with operant learning and nature-nurture relations into a book she wrote called The Science of Consequences. Her experiments consisted of using both humans and animals to determine effectiveness of reinforcement and consequences. She continues to travel and participate in conferences today. Susan M. Schneider, Behavior Analysis Path. 1970 sparks the interest. Susan began her pathway to the science of behavior analysis in the late 1970s. It started with a book report for high school, B.F. Skinner. 1970 to the 1990s, she developed a friendship mentorship with B.F. Skinner until his death in 1990. 1989, obtained her PhD from the University of Kansas. In the 1980s to present, she published several scientific behavior-based articles. 2001, she began her research for her book. 2012, Susan's The Science of Consequence, How They Affect Genes, Change the Brain, and Impact Our World, was published. 2012 to the present, she traveled to speak to over 100 people. 2015, she was the winner of the Media Award from the Association of Behavior Analysis International. Present, Schneider is currently a visiting scholar at the University of the Pacific and a senior scientist at the nonprofit Group Solution, where she consults on behavior and sustainability. The Science of Consequences is her first book. Susan M. Schneider, PhD accomplishments. Obtained her graduate education from Brown University and the University of Kansas. She taught the Science of Consequences to students in Auburn University and Florida International University. She was the Associate Director of the Developmental Psychobiology Laboratory. She's taught over a dozen different psychology courses, including cognitive psychology, social psychology, comparative psychology, statistics, research methods, and a history of psychology. Over 25 years of research and scholarship in the science of consequences in nature and nurture relations. Has long championed the inclusion system theory approach to nature-nurture relations, accumulating in several influential scientific review articles. Published in journals as varied as American Psychologist, International Journal of Comparative Psychology, and the Behavior Analysis. There are several more mentioned here. Over 100 scientific presentations, including many recent keynote and invited addressees at conferences and universities across the United States and internationally. Has been a member of several associations, including Psychological Association of Behavior Analysis, Comparative Cognitive Society, International Society for Developmental, and Society for the Quantitative Analysis of Behavior. She has served as a reviewer for many scientific journals, including American Psychology, Animal Cognition, Behavior Brain Research, Developmental Science, Journal of the Experimental Analysis of Behavior, Behavior Analysis and Practice, and the Behavior Analysis. Here's a picture of her book that she is accomplished on, and her accepting a media award for the book in front of over thousands of people in San Antonio, May 2015. Interviews. Here are questions I developed if I had the opportunity to interview Susan in person. Who is one that inspired you to become a behavior analysis? What was your favorite animal to work with and how long? was it like to interact with Skinner? What is your belief about behavior analysis in the world? And how long have you been in the field of behavior analysis? I was able to answer these questions during research for more information about Susan. Here is another interview. You can click on the link and look at a live interview with Susan Schneider with Behavior Analysis History Company. Dr. Susan Schneider Impact. Susan's work impacts graduate and undergraduate students who are learning to become behavior analysts. She was the first person to develop operant generalization and generalized matching. Some of her research can be found in current psychology textbooks today. Her research continues to provide awareness of behavior analytical principles are embedded in everyday life. She is also advocating for all branches of science to acknowledge the effectiveness of behavior science across society domains during her numerous conferences across the world. Her research consists of an inclusive approach with various scientific fields to nurture everyone's understanding of the role of behavior. Susan believes consequence shapes our choices, and our choices shape us and our societies. Below is one of her conferences at Sacramento State University in December 2012. Learning theory, operant condition. I like this picture because consequences drives everything. Let's see. When researching Susan literature, she contributed to the field. There were several in both educational and medical. The articles were based on a combination of experiments with humans and animals participants. The common themes in the literature were reinforcement, consequences, and nature versus nurture. The articles compared the cognitive reactions of the subjects based on stimulus using a reinforcement system, environments, and if the impact of the reinforcement changed the behavior. Although the articles were a mixture of animals, humans, medical, and educational perspectives, the articles were found in the psychological area of the Scholar Journal. Please view the next slide for the articles used for this summary. And these are the 5 articles that I have researched and used of some of Susan's work. Here are my references, what I used to develop information for my presentation. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.